Hey, look, we're back. You should probably put on your headphones. Welcome back to game number 2 of the 2017 JRDA Junior Roller Derby Championships from Loveland, Colorado. I am Scott Chicken. I am here with Crash Jade of the Gapland Smashers Elite. Have you recovered from your game?
Yeah.
That's good. Crash Jade will be joining us. We'll have a couple other junior announcers through the day. So we're very happy that you could be here. We're about to watch the Chick Whips take on the Rocky Mountain Roller Punks. Why don't you let us know who's skating for these teams?
Alrighty, for the Chick Whips, number 12 is Cinnamon Rolla. Number 13 is Kickin' Ash. Number 17 is M&M. Number 187 is Popper. Number 19 is Butterfly Crusher. Number 22 is Crushing Cowgirl. 3 is Wrecking Ball. 19 is Tsunami. 35 is Fire Red.
I put you on the spot on the game that I knew you didn't have your glasses.
424 is Steel. 45 is Serial Killer. 47 is Baby Doll. 55 is Sassy Squash. 613 is Smack and Cheese. 999 is Ebola Virus. So that's it for the Chick Whips. Now for the red team, the Rocky Mountain Roller Punks. Number 12 is Johnny Cash. Number 13 is Jawbreaker. Number 16 is Cream Bomb. Number 18 is Newsy. Number 180 is Black Star. Number 19 is Tearing Around. Number 2 is Acute Me. Did I say that right?
Acute MI, I think, actually.
Acute MI. Number 22 is Mort Alice. Number 26 is Reverse Chaology. Number 27 is Rockin' Ronnie. Number 33 is Shakespeare. Number 55 is Poison Ivy. And number 666 is She-Devil. Number 789 is Hannah Bronk Range. 990 is Wee Bonnie Bruiser. And 912 is Peaches and Scream.
Woo, you survived.
Oh, yeah.
You survived your first stream running through a roster. Oh, earphones. Earphone trouble. All right, coaches and captains are meeting up. So what was your favorite part of the game against Crooked River that you guys had just now?
They were really nice. Like, you'd stand on the line, and they just compliment you. And it felt really good.
Excellent. And you guys, you came down to the Big O earlier this year. Played teams of several different levels.
Multiple, yeah.
All right, we are ready to go. Number 424, Steel, is jamming for the Chick Whips. And Rocky Mountain has shirts that I can't read the number on. I think that's 55 Poison Ivy. We'll call it that until I can see an armband. Either way, Chick Whips lead jammer. And working around as Poison Ivy finally struggles around the corner. And now I can get a look. Yes, it is 55. And a quick swing through for Steel. Calls off the jam. 3 points. You guys seem to also follow that. Get a few points and then call off the jam and get a few points, not try and stretch things. Is that a strategy you planned on or just the way that you guys play?
We planned it.
All right, number 22, Crushing Cowgirl, jamming for the Chick Whips. Pushing up to the front for Rocky Mountain is number 18, Newsy. Rocky Mountain again in red, Chick Whips in black. And Crushing Cowgirl is out front, lead jammer. Nusi spins through backwards, slides just out of bounds, but she was well clear. Taps the hips to call off the jam. Does Crushing Cowgirl. 4 points total. Takes us to a 7-0 Chick Whips lead. Pack's resetting Cinnamon Rolla, jamming for the Chick Whips. And I think that's Reverse Chaology, jamming for and grabbing lead jammer for Rocky Mountain. As Cinnamon Rolla finally clears the pack, Rocky Mountain sets up in a braced 4 at the back. Tripod at the front for the Chick Whips. And a late back block sending Sassy Squatch to the penalty box. You can feel free to talk anytime. You don't need me to ask you questions. Jump in with any strategy commentary, especially if you see that they're doing something different than what you guys did.
Oh, 424 steal with the quick push and bit of dancing.
Dancing is a strategy. She's also lead jammer. And I think that's number 13, Jawbreaker, jamming for Rocky Mountain, and Steele calls off the jam. 3 more points for the Chick Whips, a 3-0 run. And that gives us a Chick Whips lead of 10-4 with 26 minutes to go. And we are back with number 22, Crushing Cowgirl. I can read the Cowgirl. I can't see the Crushing part on the shirt. It's throwing me off. And that is Poison Ivy jamming again for Rocky Mountain. Now, have you guys played either of these teams? It's a pretty long drive from Saskatchewan, right?
Yes, very long. And no, we haven't played. Oh.
And out front, Poison Ivy, lead jammer for Rocky Mountain. Rocky Mountain with lead 2 out of the 5 jams.
Nice play by the red blockers.
And they were able to break Poison Ivy free, grabbed 4 points, getting us a 2-point game. 10-8 as we're down to 25 to go in the half. Cinnamon Rolla jamming again for the Chick Whips against Nusi. Nusi with the very low start and the sort of skidding forward. But shouldered out to the outside as Cinnamon Rolla forced to the in and rolled back. 3 blockers on the track for the Rocky Mountain Roller Punks.
Oh.
As Nusi forced out of bounds and Chick Whips Cinnamon Rolla with lead jammer. Nusi spinning on the outside, finally works packs and is out of the pack. Cinnamon Rolla engaged, taps the hips, and grabs the 3 points. All right, so as a non-skater, now I have the question for you. When you're jamming and you're in that situation, do you know where the other jammer is to call off the jam, or are you listening to everyone scream at you?
Normally I don't jam, but when I do, I listen, but It never really works. I just look around, so.
All right, I always wonder because you hear people yelling, and I don't know how much on the track you're aware of the crowd versus just what's going on in the pack.
No, it's just a big screen.
Excellent. We got number 424, that is Steele, jamming for the Chick Whips, and cutting the track and heading to the penalty box is number 26, Reverse Chaology for Rocky Mountain. So power jam for the Chick Whips. And a quick 5 points in our first power jam of the game. Steele, quick spin around the inside of number 2, Acute MI. Grabs the 5 points. 10 total on the jam. Hops over the inside while tapping off the jam. Sort of a penguin slide there. So 15 total on the jam. Stretches the Chick Whips up to 28, Rocky Mountain at 8. Power start now for the Chick Whips. And that is number 319, Tsunami.
Nice. Blockers holding that jammer for just enough time for theirs to get out of the blocks.
Always good to get that penalty kill.
Very nice.
Especially with it ends up with lead jammer, as Reverse Chaology takes advantage of her team's quality defense. Finally out of the pack is Tsunami. Crowd calling for the call-off, but as you said, perhaps they're not listening. Jammer doesn't always.
Blockers, very nice bridge.
Yes, we got
holding her for about 10, 30 feet.
Do you have to convert that from meters? Do you think of this tracks in meters versus feet? Or is Derby a foot thing up in Canada?
In Canada, it's foot.
Okay,
sorry.
that's good. I was talking with your coach, and he was talking about how many kilometers it was to drive down. I'm like, I have no clue what that means.
It was a lot.
So no points yet on the board as both teams stretching things out. And Jammer back in the penalty box for Rocky Mountain. 5 points now up for Tsunami. As the power jam again comes to an end. Reverse Chaology back engaged. 11 seconds to go in the jam. And another. Go ahead.
Blockers drawing another penalty.
So 2 penalties in the jam for number 26, Reverse Chaology, on top of the one she had in the previous jam. Not how you want to have a 2-jam period go. So another power start for the Chick Whips.
Sorry.
Don't scrape on that because it comes through the mic.
Oh, sorry.
I'm like, what's that noise? Oh, she's scratching on the microphone.
Very nice sweep by the Chick Whip blockers.
Yes, Chick Whip's wide open lane gets number 12, Cinnamon Rolla, out, and lead jammer. As the power start moving quickly now. Chick Whip's trying to catch a goat at the back of the pack. And Cinnamon Rolla
Chick
through.
Whip's keeping that blocker.
Cinnamon Roller clear, calls off the jam. And that holds number 26, Reverse Chaology, in the penalty box as Rocky Mountain calls for the timeout. So when you're in the team huddle and say you guys are in a situation like this where the other team's starting to pull away, What do the coaches usually say? How does that go in the Gapland world?
Well, normally our problem is we play their game. We lose our focus and we go and don't play our game. So our coaches really emphasize on the play your game. Don't worry about the other team. Just make sure, stay low, do your thing. Yeah, together, do what we've practiced. Don't let them get in your head. That's the biggest thing.
I would think that'd be tough, especially if you're playing someone with a totally different playing style.
Yeah, we're not used to playing teams this strong, so it's really nice.
Well, it's good to get a challenge and sort of see, okay, here's what we need to work on, and you guys held very close to the Crooked River in that last game. It was fun to watch.
It was fun to play.
That's good. All right, number 424, Steele with the star for Chick Whips. On the power start, 26 reverse K-ology, standing in the penalty box, and a wide open lane on the inside. Steele out quickly as lead jammer.
Chick Whip blockers did it again, made a nice hole for the jammer.
This time reverse K-ology goes right up the middle. Challenges that bridge between skaters. Breaks free. Jam called off. And she is free to return to the bench and pass the star off to Jawbreaker, number 13. We got Crushin' Cowgirl set to jam again for the Chick Whips. Rocky Mountain lining up at the pivot line. Crushin' Cowgirl pushing to the front, but stopped by the brace 3. Starting to break through and finds a gap on the inside edge. Lead jammer Chick Whips. As Jawbreaker now star in hand, working up the outside and forced out of bounds. Long rollback from Ibella Virus as 5 points up for the Chick Whips and clobbering Cowgirl, or Crushin' Cowgirl, rather.
Oh.
You can't just give the oh. What more? That was a sizable knockout for Jawbreaker.
I love it when jammers hit other jammers. Oh. Blockers. The Chick Whip blockers just keep on doing it.
Jawbreaker forced out of bounds and rolled back. Crushin' Cowgirl calls off the jam with another 5. 15 total on the jam. And the Chick Whip's sizable lead now 61-12. Chick Whips pass the star to number 12. That is Cinnamon Rolla. And we got 55 Poison Ivy back on the line for Rocky Mountain. Rocky Mountain in red, Chick Whips in black. Cinnamon Rolla moving more left to right, while Poison Ivy just choosing to shove up the middle.
You know it's good blocking when they don't even get past the jam and then for the first
And Poison Ivy rolled back, comes in behind number 45, Serial Killer. Cinnamon Rolla also forced out and rolls back. Everyone going to the infield and then back. Go ahead.
The strength in both of these teams is phenomenal. The way they hold their the blockers hold the jammers for both teams is amazing.
They are doing excellent work on the defense. We're a minute practically in, and we haven't finished one lap yet. Rocky Mountain almost clear. Poison Ivy pushing forward, but had to roll back again. As a little offensive assistance coming. I'm sorry, that's a star pass now. That's number 47, Baby Doll, with the star for the Chick Whips. Is clear, not lead jammer, of course. And a star pass on the other side as well. So neither jammer making any headway. Might as well let someone else try.
This jam will go the full 2 minutes.
It will indeed. And 47, Baby Doll with some points already. That's Cream Bomb with the star for Rocky Mountain. Trapped up again, finds a gap on the outside, but Chick Whip's able to cycle back to the front. But now on a power jam, as Baby Doll in the penalty box. One blocker from each team in the penalty box, and time runs out. 3 more points for the Chick Whips, 3 for Rocky Mountain. A 7-3 run, 68-15. And a timeout called by the Chick Whips. So one thing I noticed in your game, and also in this, the pack lining up at the jammer line versus the pivot line, which do you prefer?
As a blocker, I love the jam line because then the jammers don't have as much of a running start at us. It's way less painful. But
I can see that.
As a jammer, I kind of like when my team and the blockers are at the front, because then it's around the corner, and if I feel rambunctious, I might try and jump it, but probably never. So
how often do you feel rambunctious and go for that?
A lot in practice, but never in a game.
Well, there's time. You got another couple of games this weekend.
Hopefully.
Always time to cut loose. All right, if you would like to interact with us on Twitter, hashtag #2JRDA. Power start for Rocky Mountain. And that is number 18, Nusi. As Baby Doll in the penalty box. Rocky Mountain playing the passive offense to stop, let the jammer do the work, and she does indeed. Runs out the front. Lead jammer is Nusi of the Rocky Mountain Roller Punks.
Blockers not letting her in.
No, they locked down tight at the front on this one. Baby Doll now out of the penalty box, spins around one blocker for Rocky Mountain, and it finally breaks clear, completing the initial pass. I believe that's a cute MI trying to stir things up at the front. Breaker jammer free. Not able to. Nusi calls off the jam. A 5-1 run. That takes Rocky Mountain to 20. Now trailing by 49. Chick Whips at 69. All right, Crushing Cowgirl again with the star for the Chick Whips, number 26. That is Reverse Chaology, jamming for Rocky Mountain. But Chick Whips out first. Lead jammer, Crushing Cowgirl. Reverse Chaology now star in hand. Doesn't appear to be looking to pass it, just holding on to it to perhaps take some attention away.
Very good technique. If you take the star off, sometimes the other team will look at your pivot, and that opens you up a hole. Sometimes. It didn't in this case, though.
And it also frees you up to pass it off if the pivot gets close enough, I would assume.
Yeah.
Right? Reverse Chaology bumped to the ground, still trying to get out, but nothing doing. It's that front three. Now 2 holding close, and the double tap from Ibella Virus.
Those 2 blockers.
His shoulders are doing their job. It's Reverse Chaology bumped out again. Jam finally called off. 2 points for the Chick Whips. Takes them to 75. And the refs coming over to have reverse K-ology go check in with the medics. Was being careful after getting bumped in the shoulder that many times. I think they were concerned about how she landed on that last one, possibly.
Concrete isn't very soft.
No, it's not. Now, what do you guys practice on up in
Concrete.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're used to landing on a very hard, unforgiving surface.
Yeah.
Number 13, Jawbreaker jamming for the Rocky Mountain Roller Punks and is your lead jammer. And now on a power jam as a forearm penalty sends Steele to the penalty box. Jawbreaker now pushing at the front, 2 blockers to beat. Bridge coming 1 left. It's number 45, Serial Killer. And there's 5 points up for Rocky Mountain as the Rocky Mountain local fans making themselves heard.
I don't know what to say.
Jawbreaker stuck behind the tripod at the front as Steele out of the penalty box and quickly around the outside. Couple of penalties being called on M&M. A back block followed by the, I believe, insubordination for not leaving the track fast enough. 4 more points on the board for Jawbreaker.
That was a pretty sweet move by Steels.
Still did have a good jump at the end. Didn't get the points for it, but it looked nice.
It looked very cool.
And sometimes that's as important as points, right? Maybe not. So how did you like playing on the sport court down at the Big O?
It was very different than concrete, and my whole team basically loved it.
Oh, you liked it? All right.
It was very nice.
It's my daughter practices mainly on sport court and loves concrete because it's faster.
Oh, jammers are close.
They are close. That's number 55, I believe, for Rocky Mountain with the lead jammer Poison Ivy. But coming out of the pack with points first is number 12, Cinnamon Rolla for Chick Whips. Poison Ivy hears the cry from Coach Coyote, calls off the jam. Only able to grab 2, so a 4-2 win for the Chick Whips, 79-31 with 9.5-ish minutes to go in our first period. Winner of this game moves on to face the number 1 seed Seattle Derby Brats Galaxy Girls at 6 o'clock this evening. And the loser will play tomorrow morning at 10.
Oh! Kicking Ash, holding the Rocky Mountain jammer.
It's number 18, Nusi, jamming for Rocky Mountain. And 319, Tsunami, jamming for the Chick Whips. And now heading to the penalty box with the back block. So power jam for Rocky Mountain. Rocky Mountain trailing by 48 at this point. Nusi forced to the inside and finally out, lead jammer. Just hanging on to that outside line. Rocky Mountain again going passive to start, now moving forward for an attempted offense. The pack reforming to await the return of Tsunami.
Nice little twist by the red jammer.
Nusi out, grabs the 5 points. Tsunami still on the initial pass, I believe. And that was crushing Cowgirl with the pivot stripe. Swinging out to throw the shoulder and the quick run back.
Smart play by the Rocky Mountain blockers, drawing a track cut.
So 2 penalties in 1 jam for Tsunami. And 4 points up for Rocky Mountain. Rocky Mountain defense doing great work,
I don't know.
keeping these power jam points low. And jam comes to a close before turning to a 10-point run, 41-79.
79, Rocky Mountain roller cones, 45. 7 minutes left in this half. Rocky Mountain will start out with a power jam, number 26.
Rocky Mountain power start. And that is number 26, Reverse Chaology, with the star. A little score correction coming in for Rocky Mountain in the last jam. That was actually 14 points. All right, official timeout. That's the word I'm trying to say. Ends, and the jam is on. Some offensive blocking rolling forward from Rocky Mountain. That's Reverse Chaology trapped on the inside, now trying the outside. Nothing doing there as well. And Tsunami out of the penalty box and back engaged with the 4-wall at the back of the pack.
Serial killer bridging. Perfect so that her team can hold the Rocky Mountain jammer.
But finally out the front, Reverse Chaology grabbing lead jammer as Tsunami also fights through, about 3/4 of a lap behind, and a quick and easy run up the outside. And a fast 4 points for Reverse Chaology. Takes Rocky Mountain to 49, now trailing by 30 with 5.5-ish minutes to go. Coach Coyote going in to have a little chat with the refs. And ref discussion going on, so the official timer giving us an official timeout for a moment or two. Don't forget to tag us on the Twitter, hashtag #TalkToJRDA. We also have a watch party contest going, but I'm lame and didn't write down the info. Is there a lot of people back home that are watching on the stream? We had a couple at least. Do you know, or did most of your fans come with you?
Our coach is watching. Like, our head coach couldn't make it because she had a wedding, so she was definitely watching. But other than that, I'm not really sure.
All right.
Yeah, there could be lots of others. None from the town I live in, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we had an old senior team. They folded, but some of them could have been watching. That would be pretty cool.
Always nice when the adults get to watch the kids. All right, Cinnamon Rolla with the star for the Chick Whips. Number 13, Jawbreaker, set to jam for Rocky Mountain. Rocky Mountain in red, Chick Whips in black. Again, super tight defense on both sides.
Blockers.
But just enough of a gap for Cinnamon Rolla to roll around the inside, lead jammer. And also,
everybody's falling now.
It was the fall down time.
It's kind of like bowling. Ooh,
That is a
nice
good analogy.
apex
So,
jump.
very nice little hop. Jump in the apex for Jawbreaker. Grabs the 4 points. 4 points for Cinnamon Rolla as well, so a tied jam. We stay with our 30-point lead, 83-53. 4.5 minutes now to go in the half. Crushin' Cowgirl jamming for the Chick Whips, and Poison Ivy jamming for the Rocky Mountain Roller Punks.
Blockers starting at the pivot line. That's a change.
Yeah, you guys have been doing that a lot today. Like you were up front several times. As you said, nice to get the Jammers a bit of a run up. And using that run up and out front, Poison Ivy clears the pack. Number 22, Crushing Cowgirl, also out roughly half a lap in front. Poison Ivy trying to work through, taps the hips. 3 points up for Rocky, 2 for the Chick Whips. And the Chick Whips will send M&M out with the star. Jamming against number 18, Nusi for Rocky Mountain. Both teams full strength, no one in the penalty box. Nusi going towards the middle. M&M trying the inside, now moving to the out. Tiptoeing that outside line. But Nusi finds room on the inside. Lead jammer, Rocky Mountain.
The Chick Whips with a nice sweep to the outside, giving their jammer a very nice hold to take.
And Nusi forced out of bounds, calls off the jam. Did grab 1 point. So solid defense work, holding her to the minimal points and forcing out to force the call off. 85-57, 2.5 minutes to go in the first period of our second game of the Female Division 2017 JRDA Championships. Now we got reverse chaology jamming for Rocky Mountain, and that is Steel jamming for the Chick Whips.
Ooh, Steel with some nice edges.
Good edges, but the no pass, no penalty called it somewhere along there, so not lead jammer. Still open for reverse chaology. Was locked up by a front 2 and forced out of bounds with the forearm penalty. Jammer ref checks in. Is the lead taken? No. All right. So lead jammer, reverse chaology of the Rocky Mountain Roller Punks. Steele finds room to jump over someone's hip and break up the inside line for 4. Reverse chaology now trapped again. Moving forward to help was Wee Bonnie Bruiser, but not able to free her enough. Only 3 points for Rocky Mountain.
1 minute remaining. We have Chick Whips at 89. Rocky
So 89 to 60. And we will have Crushing Cowgirl jamming against number 13, Jawbreaker. Jawbreaker was looking to initiate some contact, but Crushing Cowgirl kind of beat her to the punch. However, Jawbreaker out first. 4 straight lead jammers for Rocky Mountain.
Chick Whips again with awesome offense, helping their jammer get through.
And a hop of the corner, but the knee drags out of bounds. So Jawbreaker rolls back behind the pack. And finally through with 4. Crushing Cowgirl trapped towards the back as the Chick Whips move towards some offense. And out with 4 is Crushing Cowgirl, but 4 more as well for Jawbreaker. Time out on the jam clock, or the game clock rather. The jam clock still has 1 minute and 3 seconds. Jawbreaker once again facing that braced tripod at the front, while Crushing Cowgirl dealing with
Bella Virus bridging while her teammates Keeps holding their jammer.
Indeed, and Sassy Squash with the big shoulder to knock Jawbreaker out of bounds, and then the run back to roll her behind the pack. 30 seconds to go in the jam. And a star pass on the Chick Whips, now in number 55, Sassy Squash. So Sassy gets the good defensive play and then gets the star as a reward. Another hop of the corner for Jawbreaker, rather, but not able to stay in bounds on the landing.
Chick Whip holding her.
And that takes us to the half. 4 points more for each team. Gives us a 97-72 halftime score. We will take a 15-ish minute break. Look, you're back on the camera. And we will be back with the second half of the Chick Whips Junior Roller Derby Whiplash against Rocky Mountain Roller Punks Might Club. All right. Of the game number, what is this? Game number 2, right? You guys were
yes,
game 1.
we were
This
game
must
number
be
1.
game 2. Chick Whips versus Rocky Mountain Roller Punks Might Club. I am Scott Chicken. With me is Crash D. Jade of the Gapland Roller Derby. How did you enjoy your first half of announcing?
It's not what I expected, honestly. It's a lot of pressure. You wouldn't think it is, but it kind of is.
You know, there you go. Let's look at penalties. The Chick Whips winning the penalty game, if by winning you mean having more penalties, which is not really winning. Chick Whips have 21 total, Rocky Mountain with 11. M&M of note for the Chick Whips has 5 penalties, 7 and you foul out, so she's got to be careful. We also have a couple skaters with 2, and Ebola Virus with the Chick Whips has 3. On the other side, no one with more than 3. Reverse Chaology and Rockin' Ronnie each with 3. Black Star with 2 and a couple with 1. So looking forward to the second half. I didn't do a count of lead jammer, but I think it was fairly even.
Yeah, it looked pretty.
Yeah, a few more strong, large power jams for the Chick Whips than for Rocky Mountain, leading to our 97-72 score. Which, if I do the math, is what, 20-something? 25? You're young. You can do math, right? All right.
Not very well.
All right, looking at our Talk to JRDA. Well, that one's from a while ago. Come on, Smashers. That was for you, from Nikki. So you can thank Nikki if you know who that is.
Aw, I don't think that's our coach.
No? All right. Well, they were rooting for you.
Perfect.
And we also have a note from Chaos Theory saying, if it falls on the floor, the pivot can recover it too. About helmet covers. All right, back to it. About to start. Steel will be jamming for the Chick Whips. And number 55, Poison Ivy, set to jam for Rocky Mountain. Full pack for both teams and lined up way up at the pivot line. See, I said full pack and then someone got called on a penalty immediately.
Popper had a nice idea trying to send 1-0 right away, but sometimes it just doesn't work.
It does work for Steele, however, who is out first, lead jammer for the Chick Whips. Poison Ivy quarter track behind. Steele applauding to the pack, swings around on one leg, calls off the jam, and then falls to the ground. But a big smile as she gets up. So a fast 4 points takes the Chick Whips over the 100-point mark to 101.
And Rocky Mountain has 72.
And again, pack lining up way up front. Each team one shy now. So we got Crushin' Cowgirl jamming for the Chick Whips. Number 18, Nusi, jamming for Rocky Mountain. Nusi pushing against the front as Crushin' Cowgirl getting some assistance as Popper out of the penalty box and rolling through to open up a lane.
Popper
And
with the Well, it's always great as a jammer when you see somebody coming back to help you. It's glorious.
And Crushin' Cowgirl took full advantage, breaks out and grabs the lead jammer. And grabs no points because that was the initial pass. That's what the pointing is for. Nusi trying to jump over, hooks up legs, tumbles to the ground. 2 points for the Chick Whips, 0 for Rocky Mountain.
The score now after the second jam is 103 for Chick Whips, and Rocky Mountain have 72.
Cinnamon Rolla with the star for the Chick Whips. And quickly up the inside, not lead jam. Quickly up the inside and heading to the penalty box. That explains why she was so fast out of the pack. Forearm penalty on Cinnamon Rolla. Power jam for Nusi.
A nice one-on-one over there in turn 2.
That is turn 2. Which always confused me because it's just one big turn, but
basically.
There you go. Nusi lead jammer now on a scoring pass. Caught at the front as Rocky Mountain trying to hold a skater in the back. And there's 5 points up for Nusi. I'm sorry, that's reverse chaology. I've been looking at the wrong line. Reverse chaology now, second scoring pass. As the power jam over.
Another power jam for Rocky Mountain.
Blocking with the head. Get too much leaning forward with your helmet.
Tsunami, nice hold. Helping out her teammate, Sassy Squash. Lots of bridges, very nice. M&M going in there.
And finally, reverse chaology says, I've had enough of that. We'll give a power start to the next jammer. Had collected all 5 points. So she will pass the star off to number 13, Jawbreaker, with the power start as Cinnamon Rolla sitting in the penalty box. Chick Whips lining up on the pivot line.
Rocky Mountain blockers lining up with the cocktail weenies. That's what we call them.
All right.
Holding,
like it.
Making them bridge, getting rid of the path.
Yes, an offensive attempt. I think that was Mortalis sliding in to try and break a lane open, only able to knock one of the blockers down, not quite freeing. And now stepping into bridge. As lead jammer is assigned.
Steele caught her just in time. Running the Rocky Mountain jammer all the way back.
And Steele then ran back, grabbed the star, and rolled forward. And jam called off, and now we've got number 16, Cream Bomb, down on the track. That's what called the jam, I believe. Medical staff out to check in. So winner of this game, as we mentioned, moving on to play at 6 o'clock this evening against the Seattle Derby Brats Galaxy Girls. Our next game on this track will feature Angel City's A-listers against the Darlings of Destruction Supernovas, which is our number 3 seed against the 6, I believe.
Some fun facts about the Rocky Mountain team. They have a couple people aging out. Mortalis, number 22, and Acute M.I., number 2. She's also aging out. And Peaches and Scream, number 912.
And all 3 of those are going to the Rocky Mountain Roller Girls adult team. So you
That's
get to
pretty
jump
cool.
right from the juniors into the adults.
I've played an adult game. It's actually way different. It's like you wouldn't expect it. It's not at all like junior. There's lots of. Oh,
Give the applause. As Cream Bomb back up, will be helped over to the tent in the corner. But glad that she's up and rolling, so that's helpful. And we will reset. We've got number 22 set to jam for the Chick Whips. That's Crushin' Cowgirl.
Looks like there's an official review as well going on.
Official review called for by Rocky Mountain.
Official by Red.
We will eventually hear Eric Rock, our head ref, will come over and
So I guess I'll take a
announce to the house at least what the call was
as our tournament sponsor.
after they review.
They have all of your needs.
So which adult league did you play with?
I played with the Weyburn Straight Jackets. It was so fun. They were so accepting, and I was so glad that I got to play.
Now, is this your last season as a junior, or are you?
I'm 14.
You're 14, so no. would be the
No,
answer
I
to
have
that
a couple
then.
years left.
Wow. Nice that they let you come in and play.
Yeah.
He has all your needs. They also have an online
That's fun. Do you come out to? Do you ever come out to British Columbia? Played any of those teams, or
No.
just the Oregon was your farthest west run?
We did play a BC team in Calgary.
Okay.
We went to Calgary last year, I think.
just
So we played the West Coast Crushers. Oh,
Oh, yes.
19 armbands,
I'm vaguely. I haven't seen them play, but I'm aware of their existence.
at their table, and they're holding
They're from Victoria, I think, right?
number 19
yes, I believe so.
your armband numbers.
Yeah, and they also have a mixed team, I believe. So it's pretty cool.
That is cool. You or anybody on your team going to try out for Team Canada for the World Cup next year?
I think lots of our team is.
Well, her custom-made
That will be fun.
mottos were
Yes, it'll be an experience.
all about dirty.
Exactly.
Walked and they spared her skates every single time she skated at any venue, just in case they finally gave way. That's good business, people. I mean, honestly.
Let's see. I would give scores from the other track, but I haven't seen them. I think Tampa won Game 1. That's all I know. Is anyone else hitting us up with talk to JRDA? No, we have Boom Harang complaining about the feed and then cleaning their glasses and saying JK. So be sure to clean your glasses before you complain about the stream. I think that's the lesson we can take away from that.
Rocky Mountain asked for a review, looking for a low block call on the Chick Whips Jammer. Chick Whips Jammer did contact the player that did become injured. However, the contact was legal, and it is uncertain if that knocked them down at all. Therefore, the no call will stand. Rocky Mountain will not retain their view for this half.
All right. Eric Rock has weighed in. The no call will stand. There was contact. It was not low block contact, therefore no penalty involved.
As well from Rocky Mountain Roller Girls, number 55 in red.
And we'll reset Poison Ivy jamming for Rocky Mountain. Number 12, Cinnamon Rolla for the Chick Whips. Chick Whips leading 103-82. Just under 25 minutes to go in the game. Poison Ivy pushing towards the front. Crushing Cowgirl tied up at the back. And out the front lead jammer, third straight jam for Rocky Mountain is Poison Ivy.
Ebella Virus going out there trying to help with some offense.
But out quickly again. Poison Ivy, 5 points. As Crushing Cowgirl finally emerges, completing the initial pass. Number 90, Wee Bonnie Bruiser, heading to the penalty box for Rocky Mountain. And 4 points up for the Chick Whips, 3 more for Rocky Mountain. An 8-4 jam. Chick Whips now up 17, 107 to 90.
On the line in red, we have Lucy from Rocky Mountain Roller Girls. And number 12, Cinnamon Rolls.
Cinnamon Rolla
Inching
jamming.
her way up.
Yes, exactly. The inchy, little sneaky, ducking low and pushing with one skate. Cinnamon Rolla out the front, weaves through the pack and grabs the lead jammer. Number 18, Noosie, jamming for Rocky Mountain now with the star in hand.
The pivot's in the box, so
Not going to pass it then. Pretty
no.
clearly. Defense can focus on just holding her down. Cinnamon Rolla out with 5 points. Noosie rolled back, engages the jammer. And Cinnamon Rolla cutting right across the middle and then turning rapidly around the edge. Grabs the points, calls off the jam. 10-0 run for the Chick Whips.
On the line in black, we have Steele, number 424.
Steele back with the star for the Chick Whips. Number 26, Reverse Chaology, jamming for Rocky Mountain. Pack slowly creeping back towards the jammer line. Chick Whips in lockdown mode with the braced 3 with the outrider. And a hop over the leg for Steele to grab lead jammer. And now on a power jam as Reverse Chaology cuts the track. That, I believe, her 4th penalty. And 5 points up for Steele. Steele forced out to the inside, rolls back behind the pack, finds a gap on the outside, swings the hips around, calls off the jam. Second straight 10-point run for the Chick Whips.
So now, after jam 7, the Chick Whips have 127 points and Rocky Mountain have 90.
And Rocky Mountain calls for the timeout. That is their second team timeout for the game. We got Crushing Cowgirl with the star for the Chick Whips. Chick Whips pack well up to the pivot line. Chilling out, not really having a discussion. Rocky Mountain, more of a focused discussion at the bench as they try and recoup after those 2 straight 10-point power jams. Chick Whips will have a power start for jam number 8. Wow, Coach Water delivery to the track. All right, 5 seconds signaled. Crushing Cowgirl with the star. Rocky Mountain commingled with the Chick Whips pack. The Crushing Cowgirl able to navigate out with the lead jammer. Reverse Chaology standing in the penalty box, now released, star in hand. Chick Whips ready to meet her at the back of the pack as Crushing Cowgirl is through with 5. Reverse Chaology dumped to the ground, which allows the Chick Whips to waterfall forward. 2 blockers to the front now, 187.
Baby doll with a nice little tabletop going. Popper bracing, very nice. Now baby doll.
Chick Whip sending wee Bonnie Bruiser forward to try and open up something, but nothing doing, so she takes the star instead. Good case of pivot pretending to be the blocker and then grabbing the star on the way back, forces the call off. An 8-0 run for the Chick Whips. Number 12, Cinnamon Rolla, jamming for the Chick Whips. Number 22, Mortalis, jamming for Rocky Mountain. Cinnamon Rolla almost through. Ran into a blocker, but cut to the other side of the track and is out lead jammer. Meanwhile, Mortalis heading to the penalty box for the cut track penalty.
This pack is moving pretty fast.
Pack is speeding up quite well.
Chick Whip's trying to hold the goat.
Grab the goat, you can slow things down and get more points. Is that something you practice
Yeah.
regularly?
Sometimes.
It is a great strategy if you can get it to work. And in that case, it does get 5 points, 10 total on the jam.
After jam number 8, going on to jam number 9, I believe.
Finish 9 going into 10.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Jam number 9. The score is 145 for the Chick Whips and 90 for Rocky Mountain.
Steele with the star on the power start. Chick Whip's doing a good job of calling off jams and freezing jammers in the penalty box.
Steele with the awesome toes. Working her way around the lines. Staying in while she does it.
Steele lead jammer. Mortalis out of the penalty box. 2 skaters to beat at the front of the pack.
Baby doll. Shutting her down, but taking a beating from her shoulder.
And finally, Mortalis able to spin around the outside. And what is her reward? The jam gets called off. But Rocky Mountain tightening up the defense at that second half of the jam, holding Steele to just 2 points. Crushing Cowgirl again, jamming for the Chick Whips. Number 13, Jawbreaker, jamming for Rocky Mountain. As the pack well forward, 3 Chick Whips in a tripod formation.
Popper again with more offense.
Yeah, they sort of lined up with Popper ready to open things up, didn't they?
Best way to start.
So Jawbreaker trapped in the middle, looks to the outside, but heading on the blocking with the head penalty. So that will lead to a power jam again for number 22. Crushing Cowgirl. 3rd power jam of the half. 4th if you count the power start in the last jam. And Crushing Cowgirl easily through for 5 points.
3-on-3 power jam. Let's see how this turns out.
Rocky Mountain sliding forward as Chick Whips move in, break up the tripod with some offense, and Crushing Cowgirl taps the hips. Same strategy we saw earlier. Get the 10 points, call off the jam, lock the jammer in the penalty box.
The Chick Whips seem to like getting their points in groups of 10.
They do. They've done that several times this half. 4, I think.
4.
Cinnamon Rolla getting the advantage of the power start. as Jawbreaker rolling out of the penalty box about 2 seconds after the whistle blew, and now catching up and running up the outside to steal lead Jammer.
Best way to come out of a penalty as a jammer.
Get everyone focused on the other jammer, and maybe sometimes you can sneak through, huh?
Very true. Whoa! Nice little hop by Jawbreaker.
And Jawbreaker is out with 4 points. As Cinnamon Rolla now coming in on a scoring pass. Jawbreaker looking for points rather than calling off. Ducks into the middle of the pack. Bumped out of bounds, but no run back. And shoulder to shoulder with 319 Tsunami. Pops out with the second 4. As Cinnamon Rolla finally clear with 4 of her own.
Pack is racing.
And Jawbreaker finally takes one last shoulder, ends up out of bounds, calls off the jam.
I think that shoulder was from Tsunami.
Good work, Tsunami, locking down the edge, but not before giving up 3 points. So an 11-4 run for Rocky Mountain takes Rocky over the 100-point mark, 101 to 161.
After the 12th jam.
14 minutes to go in our game. Steel jamming against Poison Ivy. And Poison Ivy out first, lead jammer Rocky Mountain. Steel half a lap behind. 4-on-3 advantage to the Chick Whips. Chick Whips lining up to the front. One Rocky Mountain blocker, I think that's 9-12 Peaches and Scream working some offense.
Power jam for Rocky Mountain.
And Poison Ivy.
Still good.
Still good, yeah, exactly. Fell down, kept everything in bounds.
Very nice. Rocky's trying to hold the goat.
4 points being signaled. Poison Ivy calls off the jam. Taking a play card out of the Chick Whips box to lock the jammer in the penalty box. And we will have number 18, Nusi, with the power start. It looks like we had maybe a score adjustment to 5-5 in that last jam. So 111-161.
Nusi getting hit around by Baby Doll. Ran back by Ebella Virus.
And the Chick Whips return the favor. A steal out of the penalty box grabs lead jammer. Nusi locked up. Steele tries to hop the line laterally, not able to complete it. Now looks to the other side, calls off the jam, but did get 4.
After the 14th jam, Chick Whips have 165 points and Rocky Mountain have 111.
Chick Whips sending out Crushin' Cowgirl, number 22. We'll have to wait to see who's jamming for Rocky Mountain. I think that's number 26, Reverse Chaology. And yes, it is.
Crushing Cowgirl slipping through the pack.
Nice lane on the outside. Ducked low to get through it. Lead jammer Chick Whips. As Reverse Chaology, one skater to beat. Sassy Squash. Stringing things out as far as she could. Finally has to let go. Crushing Cowgirl tied up in the pack again.
Almost got away with it.
Almost did.
Oh. Crushing Cowgirl with a penalty.
No, that was on reverse chaology.
Reverse chaology.
She thought she was clear, but no. Cuts the track just at the end. I was looking at the ref waiting for points to come up, and they did not. I guess one. She had one legal point.
Chick whip starting on a power jam.
And that is number 12, Cinnamon Rolla, on the power start. And Cinnamon Rolla is your lead jammer. Rocky Mountain splitting into a pair of pairs for a moment there, now trying to regroup as the Chick Whips mushing up that offense. Grab the 5 points, call off the jam, and again lock reverse chaology in the penalty box. So 174-113, 9 minutes, 20 seconds to go. Steele with the star for the Chick Whips.
Rocky Mountain getting engulfed by a bunch of the Chick Whip blockers.
And the Chick Whips throwing shoulders to knock people out of the way. Rocky Mountain able to regroup at the front a bit, but Steele spins past them all and grabs lead jammer. Steele ducks around and grabs the 5 points as the star passed reverse chaology out of the penalty box, hands it off to Mortalis. Jam called off. Another scoreless jam for Rocky Mountain. 5 points for the Chick Whips, 179-113. And a team timeout called by the Chick Whips. And I will say one time again, connect with us on the Twitters with the hashtag #Talk2JRDA. That's talk, the number 2, JRDA. Love to hear from you watching at home. Rocky Mountain gathering in a circle, having a little chat. Chick Whips sitting on the benches, discussing with their teams. Everyone getting a little bit of a breather.
Much needed too. This is a hard game.
That is. Now, what is your elevation where you guys are? Did you notice the difference coming here, or are you up in the sky anyway?
A lot.
Yeah.
We're going to have some 5-on-5. We have Crushing Cowgirl in black, number 22.
All right, Crushing Cowgirl, 22 jamming for the Chick Whips, 13 Jawbreaker jamming for Rocky Mountain Roller Punks in red.
Ooh, little jammer hit. Always good to see.
Not quite enough to knock her out of bounds, though, but it did direct her right into the Rocky Mountain pack. As Jawbreaker pushing to the front against the tripod defense of the Chick Whips.
Cream bomb. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Cream bomb holding her still.
Yes, similar defensive front at the back of the pack. Holding on to Crushing Cowgirl as we're now to the midpoint of turn 2. 45 seconds into the jam.
Sassy Squash coming back to help out a jammer.
Oh, and the foot went out of bounds. Jawbreaker thought she was clean, but no. Cuts the track, and that leads to power jam for Crushing Cowgirl. But not lead jammer. I believe lead had been indicated for Jawbreaker right before the cut track penalty called. And again, Chick Whips trying to trap a goat at the back. 5 points up for the Chick Whips. As the jammer out of the penalty box. Jawbreaker now star in hand. Skates past the pivot.
Chick Whips reforming, nice.
And 5 more up.
Baby doll.
Yes.
A little bit of a one-on-one tabletop. Very nice, always.
And jam called off as Jawbreaker was almost clear. Took a heavy hip check. So Crushing Cowgirl adding 10 points to the Chick Whips total. As we're down to 6 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the game. 189 to 113.
Captain for Rocky Mountain Roller Girls. And number 12,
Cinnamon Rolla with the star for the Chick Whips. And number 55, Poison Ivy jamming for Rocky Mountain. Poison Ivy almost caught on the run back, but apparently illegally.
Kicking ash with a nice brace.
And finally clear, Poison Ivy. First lead jam for the Rocky Mountain in about 7 jams. As Rocky Mountain continuing to waterfall forward. And a penalty called. I didn't see what the signal was. But whatever it is, it leads to a power jam for Rocky Mountain and 5 more points. Poison Ivy had 4 on the last pass, 5 this. Offense starting to move forward. Clockwise block, not surprisingly called, as Baby Doll sort of lunging against Derby direction to try and make contact and hold back the jammer. Power jam over as Cinnamon Rolla out of the penalty box, but snaking through the pack, finding room on the inside edge for 4. Poison Ivy, that takes her to 18 total on the jam. 4 points up as well for Cinnamon Rolla.
8 seconds left in the jam.
And the jam ends, but Cinnamon Rolla. Someone's signaling a cut, and I'm not clear. It was Cinnamon Rolla. She was signaling her own cut track. Okay. I thought she was calling for it on the other jammer, but no. Just letting the bench know, yeah, I cut the track.
I do.
So 3.5 minutes to go in the game. Chick Whips 193, Rocky Mountain 134, and official timeout.
Score for this game, Chick Whips have 195 and Rocky Mountain have 135. That is after Jam 19 with 3 minutes and 34 seconds left.
195.
Rocky Mountain sending out Nusi on the power start. Coach Barbie of the Chick Whips checking in with one of the outside pack refs. Just getting clarification on the penalties. So both teams full strength, other than the jammer for the Chick Whips. Rocky Mountain moving forward for some offense. Nusi dodging through the front of the pack, spins around and lead jammer. Nice hopping pirouette. And Steele called on a cut track for the Chick Whips, was the pivot. Still is the pivot, just now in the penalty box. Cinnamon Rolla finally released. Rocky Mountain awaiting her return. Cinnamon Rolla rolling in. Penalty thins out the Chick Whips
Rockin'
pack.
Ronnie with some.
And finally, Cinnamon Rolla pushing out the front. Nusi
still going.
still going, finally calls off the jam. She really just wanted to get out of the pack. Had all 5 points, they just kept reabsorbing her. So was able to call it off in time to hold the Chick Whips scoreless. She will pass the star off. Nusi will after this timeout to number 13.
After Jam 20, Chick Whips are in the lead with 195, and Rocky Mountain pretty close behind with 140.
Speaking of the Chick Whips, Twitter user SBayer, S-B-A-E-R, says, Chick Whips Cinnamon Rolla killing it, with the hashtag #TalkToJRDA. Final team timeout for Rocky Mountain. 2 minutes, 9 seconds to go. Rocky can't stop the clock again. So at least one, possibly two jams remaining. Winner of this game back to play at 6 o'clock this evening against the Seattle Derby Brats Galaxy Girls. Loser will move on to play Game 7 tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. And Crushing Cowgirl around the outside now, looking to the inside against that Rocky Mountain pack. 13 Jawbreaker jamming for Rocky Mountain. Caught up.
We have two very strong tripods here.
Exactly. Nobody's going anywhere.
No.
Team packs reverse order. Chick Whips moving to the front. Rocky Mountain now waterfalling forward as well, as they are on a power jam.
Bopper's got a nice little one-on-one going on here.
And finally clear and lead jammer Jawbreaker on the power jam. Minute 17, game clock 106 on the jam clock. Rocky Mountain trying to trap the goat at the back, but moving the wrong direction leads to a penalty to thin out their pack. Now 4 on 3.
Peaches and Scream helping out with the O.
Rocky Mountain calls off the jam. Can't stop the clock, but we will get one more jam in. And it will be a power start for 55 Poison Ivy. Number 22, Crushing Cowgirl, jamming for the Chick Whips, standing in the penalty box. As is Steele. Or I'm sorry, not Steele, that's 45 Serial Killer. But Poison Ivy making quick work of the pack, lead jammer. Crushing Cowgirl also quickly through. About a quarter lap behind and giving chase. As Poison Ivy looking for room on the inside, now cutting to the outside. Crushing Cowgirl finds the gap on the end, dances through. 4 points for the Chick Whips.
Steal up, help embrace mac and cheese.
And lead jam now off the table as Poison Ivy pulling the star off the helmet. So we'll go for another minute and 8 seconds.
Looking for the pivot, but
that's not her
behind
pivot.
Her, so
Exactly. Look, did she see the stripe and think that was her pivot? Well, her pivot's now heading to the penalty box is number 90, Wee Bonnie Bruiser. And out with 5 points is Crushing Cowgirl. Poison Ivy struggling, forced out of bounds. And I'm guessing back block called as a blocker did report to the penalty box. 5 more points up for Crushin' Cowgirl as Poison Ivy finally out with 4. So 14-4 so far on the jam, 14 seconds remaining in the game. Crushin' Cowgirl pushing to the front, a tripod waiting her.
Finally gets a break. Poison Ivy's out of the pack.
And that is the game, our unofficial final. Chick Whips 210, Rocky Mountain 151. Chick Whips proceed to the 6 o'clock game
Great job, ladies.
and go to 4-0 against Rocky Mountain this season. The Rocky Mountain Roller Punks will move on and play at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. You guys get to play at noon. And you will play the loser of our 8 o'clock game tonight. So are you going to stick around to watch that, or are you going
I
back
think
to the
we're
hotel?
in Greeley. I'm not sure if that's actually Greeley. So I think we might go there, but we'll probably watch it online.
Excellent
It'll be a
choice.
good game to watch.
Should be a fun game. Coming up next, also a fun game. Our 2 p.m. matchup, the Angel City Junior Derby A-listers against the Darlings of Destruction's Supernova. So stick around for that. Crashy Jade, thank you for joining me.
Well, thank you for having me.
All right. We'll be back in about 20 minutes.